As we all know, LeBron James is one of, if not the greatest player of all time. And throughout his NBA career, we've seen nearly every team in the league try their luck to acquire him at some point to hopefully win a championship. So in today's video, we're going to be doing exactly that and give all 30 teams in the league at 39-year-old LeBron James and see who can come out on top with an NBA title. And yeah, as you can see here on the Philadelphia 76ers, we have Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey paired up alongside LeBron James. There are so many teams in the league that are going to benefit a lot by acquiring him, but since the Sixers normally have a high probability of winning a ring without him, and also since he's a perfect fit on the team, I would not be surprised to see him progress to the NBA Finals on this squad. And moving over to the Milwaukee Bucks, you can really say the same thing about this team as you could the Sixers, since they have Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And also, I'm going to move LeBron to a small forward rather than a power forward, so he can start alongside Giannis instead of being put on the bench like Luka was on that one video, which yeah, after you watch this one you should definitely go check that one out. But yeah, Chris Middleton would probably be a sixth man unless we moved him down to the shooting guard spot, which may or may not be better for him, but he would move to an 84 overall. But heading over to Chicago, Bulls fans can finally rejoice as well. LeBron is finally on the team. I don't know if you guys remember this, but instead of playing for Miami, there was a lot of rumors of him going to Chicago instead, but obviously we never even got to see that. But here we are now. He's getting to play alongside DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Both of these players are kind of outside of their prime, especially DeMar, but Zach LaVine does have a chance to come back since he is only 28 years old. And I would not sleep on this team to make the playoffs this season because the depth that is currently around them, and since injuries are off, they also have Lonzo Ball. There's definitely a chance of them making a run this season, but we're just going to have to see how they perform. And yeah, making our way over to Cleveland, LeBron has returned home yet again to play with Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and Darius Garland. And yet again, I would keep this team on the back of your mind just in case they end up winning a title this year. And heading over to an already stacked Boston team, LeBron is officially going to be joining the roster, and there's not really a whole lot to say about this team since, as you guys can tell, they're really good. So I'm not going to spend too much time on them. The Clippers, yet again, another great team who's adding LeBron. The Memphis Grizzlies are healthy this season since injuries are turned off. So when looking at the West, this is a team to keep your eye on. But the Atlanta Hawks now have LeBron with Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. And heading over to the Miami Heat with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, LeBron James will be playing the power forward position and wearing the number 9. And the reason I gave him this jersey number is because 23 and 6 are both retired. So it only made sense to give him this jersey number since it's just 6 but flipped upside down. And heading over to Charlotte, LeBron's going to be taking over this team, and that's primarily because everyone a part of this roster is really bad. And yet again, the same thing could be said for the Utah Jazz. The Sacramento Kings, they may or may not make the playoffs this season because, well, I mean, they have LeBron now. The New York Knicks are arguably a perfect fit for LeBron. The Orlando Magic, he's definitely going to have to carry that team as well. And heading over to Dallas with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this will be the most dominant trio in the NBA. With LeBron's playmaking skill set stacked alongside Luka and Kyrie's scoring abilities, these three may or may not absolutely tear up everyone in the Western Conference. But yeah, the same thing cannot be said for the Brooklyn Nets, as their best player is Cameron Thomas. And oh yeah, the Denver Nuggets, I forgot they were a team, but they have Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, so this may or may not be the best trio instead of the one over there in Dallas. With the Indiana Pacers, this is probably a disgusting thing to look at if you're not a Pacers fan, and it looks like Zion and Brandon Ingram are going to be playing alongside the greatest player of their generation. And heading over to Detroit, if there's anybody in the NBA that I think can carry a team, it is LeBron, but I don't know if he's going to be able to improve their record any. The Toronto Raptors, they're probably not going to be good enough to even make the playoffs, so I mean, there's not really much to say here. The Houston Rockets, same thing could be said for them as well. The San Antonio Spurs, it is going to be kind of funny seeing him with Victor Wembanyama, especially since his teammates normally don't even pass him the ball, but I'm sure LeBron will be feeding him most games. The Phoenix Suns, I mean, their offense is going to be off the charts this season. Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant, those are 4 of the 5 players a part of their starting 5. And I mean, the only thing that may or may not hold them back is this team's defense, but it's not going to be LeBron's fault as he is a really good defender. Today, the OKC Thunder with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren. Now, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they are very very good in real life, but I don't know if it will translate to 2K, even though they now have LeBron. And the Portland Trailblazers, again, this team is trash. But the Golden State Warriors with Stephen Curry, Draymond, Clay, and now LeBron James. I previously made a video where I traded him to the Golden State Warriors, so again, if you want to check out that video, you can do it after this one. But instead of trading Draymond and a couple of other players, we get to keep the entire core, so that'll be nice to see. I don't really expect them to still make the playoffs, but if they do, I'm anticipating a first or second round exit. And last but not least, we have the Washington Wizards. That is a god-awful team to end this off on. But yeah, there you have it. Those are all the teams in the NBA. Now, if you want to go down in the comments and make your pick on who you think is going to win the championship, feel free to do so. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the All-Star break and see how all the teams are doing so far. And having a look at the Eastern Conference is actually the Milwaukee Bucks, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Atlanta Hawks as your top 3 seeds. I'm not going to lie to you. I am very, very surprised that Boston is sitting in 4th place. I mean, obviously, looking at the team, they are absolutely loaded. But I mean, if I had to take a shot at what I thought was actually affecting the squad, I'm just going to throw out the fact that they may or may not have too many weapons, and it may or may not be holding them back. Because I mean, the lowest overall in their starting 5 is an 88 in Drew Holiday. And I mean, when it gets to that point, maybe you want to trade away someone for some depth or something like that. But in 5th place, it's Orlando. And actually, as the 6th seed, we have the Charlotte Hornets. So I guess LaMelo paired up alongside LeBron is actually such a good combination that they're better than someone like Miami. And keep in mind, this team right here made the finals last year. So sending LeBron back to South Beach to play alongside Jimmy Butler, I guess that just doesn't make them better than LaMelo Ball. And in 8th place, it's Philadelphia. 9th is New York. And creeping over here in 10th, we have the Detroit Pistons. I did not think this team was going to be good at all, but I guess it was a good fit. And heading over to the Western Conference, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, Denver Nuggets, and Los Angeles Clippers as your top 3 seeds. If I'm going to be honest, as far as those teams are concerned, there's nothing to be really surprised about. The Minnesota Timberwolves are also really nice. The Los Angeles Lakers, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention this, but there's actually 2 LeBrons on this team. As you can see, I renamed one to LeClone James. But yeah, that's right. Instead of just having one LeBron on the Lakers, I decided to spice it up a bit and throw another one in there. And if you guys want to let me know down in the comments if you think this is a good idea for future videos, I would love to hear your guys' feedback. But if most of you guys think that it's a bad idea, maybe in future episodes I'll be sure to not have any duplicates. And the 8th seed is unfortunately the Phoenix Suns. I thought this team was going to be a lot better. I mean, it may or may not just be the exact same problem that Boston has. The coaching staff might just be having a hard time getting everyone involved. In 9th place, it's the Dallas Mavericks. I thought this team was going to be a lot better. I'm not going to lie to you. And I don't really think they have the same problem as those other 2 teams. So they might just be in a little bit of a funk, but they may or may not figure it out down the line. And in 10th place, it's the Portland Trailblazers. So as LeBron normally does with bad teams, he's carrying them to the playoffs. So if they end up progressing to the conference finals or even the NBA finals, I'm going to be very, very surprised, but I would absolutely love to see that happen. And yeah, at the end of the regular season, it's Luka Doncic winning the MVP. Victor Wembanyama is, of course, Rookie of the Year. Brandon Ingram actually won 6th man instead of, I think Russell Westbrook normally wins it over him, which, I mean, that makes sense because the only reason he even won this in the first place is because LeBron James is a part of the team. But DPOY also goes to Victor Wembanyama. Trey Man is most improved, and there's Trae Young pulling away with the Clutch Player of the Year. And All-NBA first team does not have any of the LeBrons a part of it, but I'm sure there's going to be a couple of them making an appearance. And All-NBA second team, wow. That is not what I expected at all. And is All-NBA 13 the same thing? Well, almost, but instead of it just being completely filled with LeBrons, Joel Embiid actually managed to sneak in. And All-Defensive first team, no LeBrons here. All-Defensive second team does have 2 of them, with the one in Washington and Chicago. But you know what? It is officially time for the playoffs to begin. Just to speed up the process, I'm going to simply pass round 1 and see who makes it over to the second. Up first over in the Western Conference, we have the Los Angeles Clippers going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I really do like this matchup, and there is a possibility it happens in real life, but you know what? Let's see it. Who's going to win game number one? My bet is actually on Minnesota, since their defense is probably out of this world. But as a Clippers fan, I am going to be rooting for them, and let's see, in the final seconds, it is going to be Minnesota. Clippers LeBron James had 32 points, 9 rebounds, and 16 assists, and the other one had 33, 8, and 4. So despite being 39 years old, it seems like all of these LeBrons are performing really, really well. But over on the East, it's the Milwaukee Bucks and Atlanta Hawks going at it in the second round. That would be really cool to see Atlanta progress to the conference finals, just because we don't really see that happen too often in these simulations. But I definitely do think the Bucks are the favorites to win. And in game number one, let's see it. Who is it going to go to? But like I said, I'm assuming Milwaukee is going to pull away with the win here. And yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Back over here in the Western Conference, here we have the Los Angeles Lakers and OKC Thunder. And I definitely feel like the Lakers are going to win this game. There are 4.6 seconds remaining in overtime. The OKC Thunder are down by 4 points, and a comeback is not likely to happen. But there's Aaron Wiggins with the three, and that rolls in and out. And there you have it. The Los Angeles Lakers are going to win game number one. And yeah, LeBron James led his team in scoring with 42 points, 4 rebounds, and 11 assists. But the original LeBron is still playing good as well, as he had 34, 8, and 13. This right here is a really dominant duo, and I mean, it makes sense because they're the same person. But here we have the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I'm surprised Philly ended up making the playoffs in the first place, because it wasn't looking very good for them earlier. But the Cavs are up by 2 points with 20 seconds remaining, and here comes LeBron James at the free throw line. Can he knock these down? All right, let's see it. The first shot is up, and it is good. Now if he can manage to make the second one as well, that may or may not close the game completely. And let's see it. Will he make the second? Of course he does. But if you are in Philly's position, what do you do with the basketball right here? Do you give it off to LeBron or Joel Embiid? Currently it is in Buddy Hield's hands, and he does give it off to LeBron. And Joel Embiid, he is in the post, but he passes it back out to the free throw line. But there's Tobias Harris with the three, and that rolls in and out. And yeah, you got to foul at that point, and I'm pretty sure Philly did lose game one. And at the free throw line yet again, there is LeBron James' first shot, and of course he makes it. And you know what? I think that is going to close the game, so let me go ahead and simulate. And yeah, there you have it. The Cleveland Cavaliers do win game number one. And you know what? I'm going to simulate a couple of games further to see how all the series are going. As of right now, every series in the second round is sitting 2-1, but that is with the exception of the Los Angeles Lakers, as they are leading OKC by 3-0. You know what? Actually, let me just go ahead and simulate this round. It looks like we are going to have the Atlanta Hawks versus Philadelphia 76ers, and over in the West, it's the Battle of LA with the Clippers and Lakers. But hey, in game number one, who's going to win this matchup right here? That would be really, really interesting to see the Hawks make an NBA Finals, because like I said earlier, that doesn't really happen in these simulations. But hey, here's Trae Young with 41 points, 3 rebounds, and 15 assists. LeBron James had 26 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals. I mean, that is a really nice, well-rounded effort from LeBron. And with 3 seconds remaining, the Clippers are down by 2 points. The Lakers do have possession, so whenever they do inbound, we are going to have to foul. And yeah, Kawhi Leonard does pick up his 5th, and this is the original LeBron James at the free throw line. And let's see, he does miss the very first shot, so there is a chance for the Clippers to come back this game. And it would be really bad for the Clippers if he does miss this one as well, since they don't have any timeouts. But there's James Harden with a full court shot, and that does end up missing. And having a look at the box score, it was Paul George leading his team in scoring with 30 points. James Harden had 23, 4, and 8. LeBron James had a nice little double-double with 20 and 13. But the Lakers' LeBron James had 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. And in game number 2, the Atlanta Hawks seemed to be dominating the East, and it was looking like Philadelphia didn't have a chance of coming back. But here they are with 12 seconds remaining, down by only 1 point. And here's LeBron being guarded by LeBron James. He does drive to the basket, and he tries to take a shot over himself, but he can't do it here. He gives it off to Buddy Hield, who does end up making the game-winning 3. Oh my goodness. Trae Young doesn't have enough time to make a full court shot, but it almost went in anyway. And the Philadelphia 76ers, what a shot from Buddy Hield right there. That is why they made that trade earlier this season, so he could do something like that, because that was absolutely incredible. This is why you always want to pair shooters around LeBron James, because he will find them every single time, no matter what. Buddy Hield only had 10 points, but I mean, that doesn't even matter. He made the shots whenever they mattered most, and because he ended up making that, they do have a fighting chance of winning the series. Trae Young led his team in scoring with 32 and 11, but the other LeBron had 24, 7, and 5. So that was a really good game. I wish we would have jumped in sooner to see more of the action because it did start getting closer at the end. But with the Lakers up 1-0, the Clippers are seeking redemption in game number 2, and so far it's looking like they may or may not receive it. And yeah, as you can see, they ended up winning by 7 points. The original LeBron James had 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Meanwhile, his clone had 21, 10, and 5. So it's really cool to see both of them working together so well. But you know what? I'm going to simulate a couple of games further and see how everything's going. Over in the Eastern Conference, it's Atlanta sitting up 3-1 against Philadelphia. But in the Clippers versus Lakers playoff matchup, the series is currently sitting at 2-2. But you know what? Let's see if Atlanta can pull away in 5 games. And in the fourth quarter, Philadelphia just wasn't having it as they won by 8. And I really want to see Russell Westbrook win a championship, so LeBron better carry him to victory. But so far, the Lakers, I mean, hey, they are just completely dominating the series as they are only 1 win away from making the NBA Finals. But there is hope over in Philadelphia right now as they have the chance to do the impossible and come back from a 3-1 deficit. But this game's super close, and it looks like Philly will end up pulling through in the fourth quarter. Joel Embiid had a really nice night with 35 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks. It feels like every time I look at Atlanta's box score, Trae Young is leading his team in scoring, and the Lakers are at home, so they do have a chance to shut the door in the Clippers' face. And you know what? It's looking like Russell Westbrook is never going to win that ring because the Los Angeles Clippers have been eliminated. And who will the Lakers play in the NBA Finals? Will it either be Atlanta or Philadelphia? I don't know. We're just going to have to see. It is game 7, and the Hawks do pull away by what? Nearly 20 points. It looks like your Western Conference Finals MVP was LeBron James, and of course over here in the East it was actually Trae Young. I was expecting it to be both LeBrons, but you know what? This is also fine as well. And yeah, as you can see, the NBA Finals matchup is officially set, and here we have the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Los Angeles Lakers. Now I gotta be honest, it is kind of funny seeing this Lakers team make it so far since they have 2 LeBrons, but I'm not going to lie to you. I think Atlanta does have a chance of taking this Lakers team down. That's primarily due to the fact that I think that the fit on this squad is really nice. I mean, having a look at the starting lineup, we have Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, LeBron James, Jalen Johnson, and Clint Capella. But okay, in game number 1, I really want to see Atlanta pull away with the W here, and they are up by a lot of points, and there you have it. They ended up winning by 20. The Atlanta Hawks version of LeBron finished with 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists, and LeBron James had 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. And in the next game of the series, can Atlanta take a 2-0 lead? It looks like they're going to do so as they continue their dominant playoff run. Trae Young ended this game with 40 points, 3 rebounds, and 14 assists. And I mean, as good as this Lakers team is, it looks like they just can't compete with the amount of depth that Atlanta has. But in game number 3, it looks like they are going to bounce back. And now that they have the momentum, there is definitely a chance that they can pull away with yet another win. There are 3 seconds remaining, and Atlanta does have possession. They need to pass it off to somebody, but anyway, he gives it off to LeBron James, who needs to put up a 3-pointer, and he shoots it, and that shot is good. Oh my goodness. The Atlanta Hawks are going to win the next game in the series as LeBron James makes the game-winning shot in the NBA Finals. Dude, the amount of guts you need to take that shot, and I mean, a 3-pointer in that situation, that's not what you want. And with a 3-1 series lead, the Hawks are looking to win yet another NBA championship. And in game number 5, it's looking like the Lakers are going to pull away with a win. And with 19 seconds remaining, the Hawks are absolutely dominating as they're up by nearly 50 points in a playoff game. And this isn't just any ordinary playoff game. This is literally the NBA Finals. If I'm going to be honest, out of all the teams that were on my playoff radar, this one completely slipped my mind, and I was not expecting them to make it this deep, let alone win an NBA championship. But anyway, it looks like your 2024 NBA Finals MVP is LeBron James. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my most recent upload where in the playoffs, the series winner of each round would steal the highest rated player from the opposing team. If you made it all the way through this one, you'll definitely enjoy that one as well. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. I'm out.